Sony says they are hoping the new PlayStation 4 will be the financial turnaround the company needs. The electronics company sold 1 million PlayStation 4 devices in 24 hours after it was released on Friday, setting a record for the company. The console, which is the first the company has released in 7 years, is being sold for $399. Sony executives say the device could possibly help the company after the financial loss they suffered last fiscal quarter. Still, some users are reporting issues with the device since Friday. Thought your clever PIN number made your phone unhackable? Think again. Researchers at the University of Cambridge have found a way to figure out your smartphone's PIN by using the device's built-in camera and microphones to secretly record them. The malware used to detect the PIN evades detection by hiding any data usage charges and waiting for the phone to have a Wi-Fi connection. Depending on the phone, it could also disable any LED light that would let a person know their camera was recording.
Missing your old BlackBerry Messenger now that you've upgraded smartphones? Luckily for you, the BBM is now available for both the iPhone and Android platforms. But is it regaining its pre-iPhone popularity? Let's find out.
A classic BlackBerry Messenger tone. But that tone is not just for BlackBerry devices anymore. BlackBerry released its BBM software last week for the Android and iPhone markets. The once popular messaging service can now be downloaded from the App Store, and users can use their old BlackBerry ID or create a new one. Faithful BlackBerry users like Maggie McDonald are excited about the Messenger coming to all platforms.
Because I love BBM. Everyone loved BBM when they had BBM. It was so fun, so easy, and I could, message people when they were abroad. And it was like already programmed. I didn't have to download anything else. It was just so easy. And now I have no BBM friends anymore because everyone has an iPhone. So sad. So I could have all my BBM buddies back.
But media experts are wondering how this will be able to compete with other free messaging services like WhatsApp and Viber.
I think BlackBerry's brand is really hurting right now. And I don't think this is enough of a thing for people to use it when there's so many other options that do so many more things. Record voice messages, do different type of emojis and pictures that you can send on phones. Very sophisticated without the sort of shadow of BlackBerry. And will the company actually exist? I mean, they've been going through, someone going to buy it, they're going to sell it, the CEO leaving. It just keeps getting worse.
The BBM Messenger for iPhone and Android has already surpassed 20 million downloads. International markets like Nigeria are now providing a BBM bundle for those who use the BBM for Android and iPhone, which allows unrestricted data usage for BBM-related activity within a 30-day subscription window. But only time will tell how successful this free messenger will be in the future market.
Figures released last week, Thursday, showed that China is becoming the leader of lower-end Android smartphones. China is already the world's largest smartphone consumer. Over 1 billion Chinese citizens own mobile phones. But these lower-end smartphones don't run Google services in the country. The sales growth is contributing to Android's open-source platform. Twitter users can now organize their timelines by topic. The social networking site released a new feature on Tuesday called Custom Timelines, where users can drop tweets into custom timelines based on whatever topics they create. The feature allows users to find meaningful tweets on a subject so users do not have to scan through hundreds of unrelated tweets on their timelines. Custom timelines are just one way Twitter is attracting more users in a competitive social networking market. Prashant Bhatt is here to talk more about the usefulness of Twitter. Prashant is an American University grad student, former entertainment journalist, and the most followed person on Twitter at AU. Welcome, Prashant.
Hi, Jade.
Hi, how are you? So today, the first question I have for you is, why do you think Twitter is so popular among young people?
It has democratized the process of media. All this while we've had only television and newspaper, conventional, traditional media where the communication was predominantly one-sided. But here, this gives a platform for people to communicate, to voice out, to emote. So it's an emotional outlet. And youngsters want to be heard. They want to be heard and they want to be read. I think that is one of the predominant reasons why Twitter is so popular among youngsters.
That's very true. And Twitter actually just rolled out something called Custom Timelines. And how could this be helpful to professionals or to you in your field as a journalist?
I mean, this is a cool feature because there's so much junk out there. Most often, you kind of follow someone because they follow you, and it becomes an obligation. And then in that junk, a lot of useful information gets lost. So here you have a feature where you can customize for yourself, and then you can get the domain information. For instance, if you're a person who's interested in healthcare, or if you're a person who's interested in entertainment or politics, you can just get all that information just on your timeline, and it kind of filters all the junk, you know. So it actually serves the real purpose of social media by giving you the information that you seek.
Right. And that's true. So do you think this is one of the reasons why most people, young people, are turning to Twitter for news? And why do you think most people are turning to Twitter for news in general?
It's also true that a lot of people have been going off social media because of the fatigue that is setting in, because there's so much junk and people are like so disillusioned. There's information overflow and people don't know whom to follow, whom not to follow. And so it kind of used to take away the real purpose of social media. But this is a real cool feature. You know, now people can customize and get what information they want. And to answer your question about why they really take to Twitter for news, it's fast. You know, earlier on, when I used to be a reporter back in India, if there was a bomb blast or if there was some big incident, a terrorist incident or a financial incident, any incident, you know, we had to wait for the next day to get complete information. You know, the newspaper would come the next morning. But now it's all out there. You know, it's a minute-to-minute news. So if Washington Post or New York Times kind of gives information the next day, it's outdated. It's stale news. So people want to be updated. You know, it's minute to minute. It's bumper to bumper information flow, and I think that's why Twitter is really useful for getting some information and news.
Right. And so do you think that that's going to make Twitter the future of news in the long run then?
Well, it already is. I think a lot of journalists, there are a lot of Twitter journalists already, social media journalists already. Twitter has become the single most biggest platform to get news. I'm not sure if there's any academic study or research or survey that was already done, but anecdotal information is there that a lot of people just go on Twitter to see what's happening. If there was, for instance, when the Sandy happened, a lot of us went on Twitter to see what was happening, and there's a lot of crowd sourcing of information that's happening, and news organizations are asking people to tweet through hashtags with the pictures and with videos of what's happening around their house and all that. So it's a two-way process.
Right.
I wouldn't say that Twitter or social media will completely replace conventional media, but I'm sure it will be a 50-50.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Prashant Bhatt, Twitter celebrity and AU grad student, for joining us today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for joining us tonight for our Science and Technology edition of District Wire News. I'm Jade Back-Hill.
And I'm Sarah Weber. For more information, you can find us at dcwirenews.com.